What if I told you there's a book that blends Succession, The Umbrella Academy, and magical realism into one gloriously chaotic family drama? And what if I told you it's written by the same author who broke the internet with the Atlas 6? 3 siblings, 1 dead billionaire father, a multi-trillion-dollar magitech empire up for grabs. Oh, and they all have dangerous magical powers they barely understand.
So, what exactly is Gifted and Talented about? Released in April 2025 by Tor Books, this is Olivie Blake's latest standalone novel, and she brings everything fans know and love. Morally gray characters, razor-sharp wit, deeply complex family dynamics, and just enough magic to keep things interesting. The tagline says it all. Where there's a will, there's a war. The story begins when Thayer Wen, brilliant CEO of Renfair Magitech and the so-called father of modern technology, suddenly dies. He leaves behind 3 gifted children, all in their late 20s, all emotionally shattered, and all convinced they deserve to inherit his empire. But here's the twist. These aren't just rich kids with trust funds. They're rich kids with real magical powers. Think telepathy, electrokinesis, and some seriously unstable abilities they can barely control.
Let's talk about these 3 siblings. They are a lot. First, Meredith Wren, the eldest daughter, a textbook overachiever, and CEO of her own groundbreaking biotech company, Birdsong. She invented an app called Chirp that claims to cure mental illness. Sounds amazing, right? Except it's a total scam. She faked her test results, and her ex-boyfriend, a journalist, is about to expose her as a fraud. Her only hope? Her father's fortune. Meredith is the definition of gifted kid burnout. She spent her whole life proving her worth through achievement, and now her entire empire is built on lies. Sound familiar? It's a brutal commentary on our obsession with success. Then there's Arthur Wren, the middle child and the second youngest congressman in history. On paper, he's perfect. In reality, he's a disaster. His wife might be leaving him, he's losing his re-election campaign, and he's juggling a polyamorous relationship with an heiress and a race car driver. Oh, and he has this weird ability to mess with electrical systems, and sometimes he just dies. Like, randomly. Then comes back to life. No big deal. Arthur is the people pleaser of the family, desperate to be loved by everyone, and it's destroying him. His entire arc is about realizing you can't charm your way out of every problem. And finally, Eilidh Wren, the youngest sibling, and arguably the most tragic. She was once the world's most famous ballerina, destined for greatness. But then a life-altering injury ended her career, and now she's just a mid-level marketing exec at her dad's company. She feels ignored, undervalued, and completely lost. And here's the scary part. When Eilidh gets emotionally overwhelmed, she can literally trigger apocalyptic events. Yes, you heard that right. The baby of the family can bring about the apocalypse. That's not a metaphor. That's actual plot. Eilidh's motivation? She just wants validation. She wants her father to have left her everything, because that would prove she was his favorite all along. It's heartbreaking, terrifying.
Now, let's talk about the magic, because this is where things get interesting. Unlike traditional fantasy with intricate magic systems, Olivie Blake keeps this one deliberately vague. The magic here is random, unpredictable, and honestly, kind of useless in real-world terms. Meredith has telepathic abilities she tried to commercialize. Arthur messes with electrical currents and somehow keeps dying and coming back to life. Eilidh causes reality-warping apocalypses when she's upset. The world itself is basically ours, but with a fusion of magic and tech called magitech. Instead of Microsoft versus Apple, you've got Renfair versus Tyche battling for dominance in neuromancy, which is exactly what it sounds like. But here's the thing. The magic isn't the point. It's a metaphor. A representation of the pressure, expectations, and the gifted kid curse that follows these characters into adulthood. The real story is about family dysfunction, trauma, and the crushing weight of unrealized potential.
So, why should you care about this book? First, the gifted kid to clinically depressed adult pipeline. This book literally uses that phrase, and it's
devastatingly accurate. All three Wren siblings were child prodigies, celebrated for their talents, told they were special. Now, as adults, they're floundering. They can't live up to their own potential. They can't escape their father's shadow. And they're all deeply, fundamentally broken. If you were ever a gifted kid, this book will hit different. It's a raw examination of what happens when your entire identity is built on being exceptional. Second, family dysfunction at its finest. The sibling dynamics here are incredibly realistic. The banter, the buried resentment, the competition for approval. These characters love each other and hate each other in equal measure. That's what makes it so compelling. Third, the writing style. Olivie Blake's prose is sharp, witty, and absolutely savage. The book is narrated by an unreliable narrator who breaks the fourth wall constantly, dropping sarcastic commentary on every character. And I won't spoil who it is, but let's just say the reveal changes everything. The writing is dense, layered, and unapologetically literary. Some readers adore it, others find it exhausting, but nobody can deny it's unique. Fourth, social commentary. This book is a scathing critique of capitalism, privilege, and the myth of meritocracy. These characters are filthy rich, wildly privileged, and completely miserable. And Blake makes sure you know it.
So, what's the verdict? Gifted and Talented has divided readers. If you loved the Atlas 6, you'll probably love this. If you didn't, well, you might want to skip it. You'll love this book if you enjoy character-driven stories, you like morally gray, unlikable characters, you're a fan of Succession, The Umbrella Academy, or Crazy Rich Asians. You appreciate sharp, satirical writing. You're interested in themes of family trauma and gifted kid burnout. You might not like it if you want a fast-paced plot with clear action. You need likable protagonists. You prefer traditional fantasy with detailed magic systems. You don't enjoy dense literary prose. The book is over 500 pages long, and yes, it's long. Some readers say it drags. Others say every page is worth it. The magic takes a backseat to family drama, which surprised some fantasy readers. But here's what everyone agrees on. Olivie Blake is a gifted writer. Pun absolutely intended. And this book is a masterclass in character development.
So, what do you think? Are you adding Gifted and Talented to your TBR, or does it sound like your personal nightmare? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a book review. And I'm curious, what's your favorite family saga with a dash of magic? Drop your recommendations in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy reading!